September 6, 2022. Marcus Giavanni here. Andy Rougeot, Colorado Politics by Marcus Giavanni. Now, when you think about how much money this guy's spending already in Google Ads, being an ex-Army intelligence officer, his skills don't work in the mortal world of digital well-being. Now, when I mean mortal digital world, is that it takes a mortal to build these things. That's where metahuman comes in. You either have the experience or you don't. If you get into a race and you make statements like Andy did about his people, these guys, when they do their trolling, they don't understand that their ISP addresses, if they click on my stuff, we capture every single one of them. And so, we just use it just for legal purposes and being able to know who the people are that are doing these content revivals of fake and biased bullshit by the same people every year for the last 3 years. And it's been longer than that because we've done the indexing and all we have to do is talk about it now because we've been doing it for so long that we've already been verified. Like how they get their news, like my content you'll never see on the news because I'm not news, I'm organic. I'm just talking about a bunch of people that I went door to door, knocking on doors over the years, getting everybody's ideas of what would be the perfect government. And I built it, cityandcountyofdenver.us. So while Andy tries to go and bullshit everybody, what he doesn't know is that when he spends his money, Andy delivers Marcus Giavanni as Denver's next mayor. So, yeah. And anybody that votes for him, before, when Hitler was able to get in power? And he killed 11 million plus people. Trying to get that champion bloodline. Which I understand that. In the dog world, I understand that, but perfectly. It's weird that the dog world wants the champion breed and the human world will just procreate with anything, leaving their bloodline to be watered down year by year, by decade, by millennium. And you end up with someone like me, Central American, Iberian, West Nigerian Jew. Damn, they had a lot of sex. So, and that's Catholic. I came from Catholic, Roman Catholic origin. It's different than the Catholics you see now, folks. This is Roman Catholic. That's been whitewashed out of the talk, but religion has no place in the public square. That's why they have your mind. And if you go to the mind church, it's round. It's your mind. That way the devil can't corner you. When you think about the simplicity of the human mind and the complexity of everyday living, wanting to know if someone's real or fake. Are they telling me the truth or I'm getting a pumped lie? Do they really need something, but they're disguised that they really want something, and if I can't give them what they want, then they destroy you. From little kids to grown-ups. I've seen it. I've seen people do it to my kids. And it's amazing, but my kids didn't do it to nobody. That they don't talk about. And that's what Andy or Debbie Ortega, she, 28 years, she's collecting a $94,000 pension from when she said city council. Then everyone, yeah, and everything was getting worse. She got there in 2011, everything was getting really worse. We started going up to the record highs in the murders, 2012, 13 we did, 14 we did. 15 she got reelected because she did so much for everybody. See, folks, artificial intelligence cannot allow this type of thought pattern by humans to exist. And so when I was approached back in 2006, I talk with a little bit of a list because I got in a car accident in uh, California, or excuse me, in Florida. I got in a accident in California too, but lady hit a wall, I hit her, it was raining, my face hit the steering wheel, and I had an anterior fracture under my nose, and it pushed my front tooth and tooth next to it back almost 3/4 of an inch. I never seen so much blood, but my teeth were still there. That's because I hit the bone. And if I didn't adjust my steering wheel, the doctor said that I would have possibly jammed my steering wheel up into my bone, into my brain, and killed me instantly. And see, what happened was, before I got into my car, I had a little cocktail and hit a couple hits of. Now, I waited a half an hour, because just in case you get pulled over, you gotta have that shit off your breath. So I drinking some water. I always drink a 1-to-1 ratio, or maybe a 1-to-2 ratio, one drink for 2 glasses of water, depending on what I'm drinking. Because in what I look like back in the 80s, when you Google search Marcus Giavanni, I'm a savior, man. I save people. I have saved so many lives. If you only knew. And I've lost some lives, and there were lives that were really meant more to me than the people that I barely knew. And one of my buddies died, and I wrote a song called "Crack," and he didn't really die of crack; he died of heroin. But I wasn't ready to hit that next level, think that he would have even gotten that level. I knew crack was his baby, but oh man, I wasn't there, and I wouldn't give him any money. And a few months later, he died, and so that's good, because now he's, the pain and suffering he put all his friends and his mom and parents through is over, because he wasn't ever going to change. And you can give all the people money you want. If they don't want to change, they don't want to work, they don't want to do the right thing, they're not gonna. And if they ain't got it by 7 years old, they ain't gonna get it. And right now we teach our children fucking nothing. And I know, because I had my kids in homeschool, and they were honorable kids. They opened the door, they said thank you. And in a few years in Denver public schools, and I was like, God, where's this you owe me attitude come from? Oh, that's what the teachers teach, because that's what they're told to teach. And so it's just weird, man. I'm 62 years old, and I'm watching another takeover at a greater scale, and now it has digital consequences. And I was approached to write Denver in as a model. And if I was standing in front of a judge, I'd show them. And everything I did when I sued these people, it was all indexed. It started in 2011. I didn't get to index it because I didn't have the right stuff, but it was being indexed. Just because. That's where people were, the big boys were getting it all worked out. If you think I'm something, there are guys that if there's people that build this stuff, they need to know some other content in regards to what they're building so that they can be better. And the only way that we're going to be able to do that is, one, if the media came out and said, hey, we've got the digital holy grail. We can move mountains. We can do some amazing fucking shit. Sorry about my language. You who get offended by that. This is who I am. When you walk the doors that I knocked on, walk the doors. Walk. I walked a lot of doors, not knowing what was on that other side when I'd knock on it. And some people would, because I didn't come at the right time, or I came during dinner. Yeah, I knew you were eating dinner because I saw you through your walls. I'm fucking Superman. Thank you for noticing. I'm sorry I was here. No, folks, it ain't like that. You come to my door, you better be careful, because if you come in, you're going to get fucked hard. Believe me, I know everything that goes on in my existence. I sleep very well with one eye open, and I don't got to grip my fucking pillow, and I don't even need a pillow, actually. Our bodies aren't meant to have a pillow. Think about it. If you just got a big fucking head, then you get one of them little foam maps. Those exercise maps, that's all you need on your bed. And if you got one of them foam mattresses, you don't need anything. It just takes a minute to get a grip at it. But There's no other better pillow than your arm, because when your skin hits your skin, then you're not going to get it all wrinkled out. But when you're sitting there on cotton sheets that are so comfortable, they're so light, they breathe. Yeah, okay. I want that sheet when it's 9 degrees outside and my heater's broken. Come on, man. That guy, that my pillow dude, man, he went from crackhead to crack pillow, crack slippers, crack towels. Just fuck, shut up. I know you get good life, man, but I get it. But we all get it. And so what happens when this happens? He keeps spending more money and more money, and he's like, God, man, these are the last chance. These slippers are gone. They're gone. You ain't gonna get the best fitted slippers you'd ever feet. As soon as you put these slippers on your feet, you instantly go to sleep. Yep, no matter where you are, that's how good these fucking slippers are. Put my slippers on, you go to sleep. Fuck my pillow, go to sleep. Fuck. You ever, people, I've helped crackheads, okay? I wasn't a crackhead. Wasn't. But they'll mix it around. I was just a place where people can cool down. That they're not quite ODing, but if someone ain't there to cool them down and do some things you got to do to get them back down, they're dead. They don't even have time to get to a hospital. But because when you OD, you OD. And then you get to a point to where you know you're about to OD, your body's telling you, uh-oh, I'm about to fucking die. Where's G? Yeah, man. My mom taught me. My mom, she was a registered nurse. She was the most beautiful woman I ever seen in my life. I love my mom, man. Friends used to tell me, God, your mom's beautiful, man. I wouldn't mind, bam! My fist would be down their throat. I got the scars on my knuckle to prove it. I gave a lot of mouth boring lessons. But they thought because my mom, I was adopted, that, well, she ain't really your mom. What are you fucking talking about? I'm telling you, the twisted stories that I heard from people. I'm glad I got kicked out when I was 18 years old. I got kicked out of everything that was just a fucking lie. My birth certificate, my family. Oh, I was chosen, but they kicked me out because I embarrassed them for beating up a bully at my 4,000 people classes. There's 4,000 students at my high school. 4,000, folks. And then we go to other high schools that are just a couple miles away, and we be hanging out with them, and they got 4,000 people. That's 8,000 people. And when we had football games, you want to talk about Friday night lights? I look at that, I just crack up. I just think, God, man, why couldn't I have had that? I crack up because I was like, fuck, I wish, no fighting, not here. You get done with a football game in Arizona, man. And back in the time, I don't know what they're doing now. I don't go there. But I go here in Denver, and there's no gang fights. Folks, I'm talking gang fights where there's 1,000 fucking people. See, we didn't have cell phones back there, but go look it up. And by the time cops even got there, it would be already broken up. That's what we did. We used to cruise Central Avenue. We did some crazy stuff. I never lied to no law enforcement. My dad said if I ever lied to law enforcement, then, hey, you're lying to him. Anyways, because my dad was staff sergeant in the Air Force. He was a badass white man. He adopted 3 Indians out of 7 children. 2 American Indians and 1 Central American Indian. I was the lucky Central American. Got to grow up with a swimming pool right across the street from a golf course. People be seeing me walking in the neighborhood and they'd be like, yeah, you lost? No, man, my dad's right there. Who? Him. I went, man? Yeah, it's my dad. How come you're so dark? Oh, your mom's dark. No, my mom's right next to him. She got red hair and those are beautiful eyes. Yeah, those are my parents. I'm adopted. Oh, adopted. I got like when you adopt an animal. You know how many times I heard that since I was little? What do you think that does to a kid? They don't do that now because people accept it. They've been able to pull their heads out from the dog pound to the human pound. But they can't adopt Indians no more. I don't think they, and it's weird because for me, I grew up white. I think I'm an Irishman. I mean, when the Irishmen call to arms, I got to go join them. I mean, that's just what fuck. That's crazy. That is some crazy shit. I need to be in my family. So even though I wouldn't have had it as good a life, maybe? No, I heard I would have had an excellent life. But that's okay. I don't care. I'm not here for money, obviously. I made it here in the last 30 years with no money at all, folks. Just my little investors I have, they all got involved with some of the sustainability platforms that we were going to launch out for people, but with 2008 financial crisis, it killed everybody. And then my battle with Karen Hubler, the magistrate judge, who became a magistrate judge after she was the attorney for my ex, who was the respondent to my petition. And in 2000, on May 7th May 7th, I think, elections, or May 3rd, one in 2011. It's crazy. I just try to think about it and everything, but it's just crazy. But what we're dealing with now with Andy, everything that he talks about, he's delivering me to his base. Because they're looking at my stuff, they're reading it, they're listening to it. And see, with me, we contact everybody. My content is designed to be looked at as a inverted pyramid, where all of our content is in the front. You don't need to go any further. Yeah, but and then what that does is it creates those node connections that we have identified who talk shit out loud to their team, whatever. Like, oh yeah, he thinks he's so badass, he's got one video. Yeah, but where are you? So while you're now being indexed as a fucking asshole and a democracy slut, your career's over, and you're 30 years old. I'm 62. I'm 3 years from fucking retirement. Game over, bitches. You understand? You're not coming in here and fucking up Denver's citizens anymore. And Mayor Michael Hancock has been contacted, and he knows. And this is going to be his last hoorah if he don't make things right. Because we didn't get the battle like our debates. League of Women Voters, Denver Decides, Ian Tafoya, Lisa Calderon, Jane Guy. You think they in 2019 said anything about the e-sign verification platform that kept me off the ballot? But I sued them. And now they're not using that. But the media don't talk about it. That's big fucking news. But see, my people already know. You say, well, what people? You don't even have any followers in some of your stuff. I'm not supposed to. I don't want you to follow me. I'm not following you, so don't fucking follow me. Don't bring your fucking negative shit into my circles. That's why people do follow me. I kick them out, man. Don't follow me. I'm not following you. There's got to be an equal balance. If you follow me, I got to follow you. You can't have there's one person, you got 1 million followers. And you're following one person. That one person better be fucking God or the digital God, Google. So, okay, when you say Google, when you put everything to me, World Wide Web is exactly that. It's a web. And good, bad, or indifferent, each platform has its own rules on how you're going to play the game. And what you're going to do, what you can't do. Then you get all these people that say, okay, and then they realize they can't come in and manipulate things that they normally could. And so then, instead of saying, yeah, well, you knew the terms and conditions, fuck that. You guys are corrupt. We're going to shut you down. We're going to get on Fox News and say how bad you are. You know? And all of them. And the more higher authority, especially if you're FCC regulated. And this is the thing about Tucker Carlson. I think Tucker Carlson is an obtuse fool myself. Very intelligent. I agree with him a lot of things that he says, and I disagree with on some things he says. He goes a little overboard. But when a guy can go on TV and he's got food and shit on his lips and fuck that, I like him already. But what I don't like about it, and they're all, they'll make fun about like, oh, they made a comment where, oh, we're not allowed to say that our our hosts that write books are New York best sellers, New York Times bestsellers, and the reason why is because I send them all an email, and when I send an email, folks, I'm an email that they cannot. If they don't get it, that's even worse. So you got to know the people that are in the world that are going to either better you or destroy you. And when you're talking about people like this, destroy them? No, they destroy themselves. I'm trying to help them. I'm trying to help them, folks. But we're not going to get help if you got Andy coming out. In 2011, Andy didn't even live here. He just moved to Fort Carson. And my son is in the Army right now. He's leading, but he's not leading, but he's in a platoon of some of the most baddest young men that are training right now as a new group, a special group. And he's just going to go for Special Forces and Rangers. And he just got his marksman medal. And he's learning how to do Stinger missiles and all these things that he's always read about and told me about. And what's really sad, folks, is that when my son was 4 years old, he told me that, hey, Papa, I'm going to be an Army man one day. I said, really? He said, yeah, Papa, we're going to go to war. I said, what do you know about war? I don't know. That's why I got to learn it. But I'm going to be a soldier, Papa. I have to go.